Dear colleagues, Honourable Chairperson, today we are discussing the most pressing issue that threatens the very foundations of our democracies. I would like to thank Rapporteur Mr. van der Waan for his honest and scrupulous work, where complex money laundering schemes and the real outreach of the organised crime are exposed. At the same time, I want us to thank those brave investigative journalists that unfortunately oftentimes at the cost of their life have uncovered those schemes that routinely penetrate and subvert democratic societies. Victoria Marinova, Jan Kuciak, Daphne Caruana Galizia and many others were direct victims of the organised crime and state negligence. Corruption per se is not a new phenomenon. What is new about is that with the development of transnational networks and the only true grey zones, meaning the offshores, the speed that the corruption in one country can affect the overall ecosystem is tremendous. While money certainly can't buy you love, it buys influence. The stolen assets and money in no time turn into offshore companies with limited, or better to say, with no any responsibility to buy political friends, to silence truth and to distort integrity. Unfortunately, even the passé was not free of this influence. The infamous caviar diplomacy penetrated these very walls to blindfold the international community to the existence of political prisoners, virtual state capture, entrenched authoritarianism and a crackdown on the civil society. However, I should also commend our efforts to expose and reject this poisonous influence and our strength to stand for our integrity as stated in our resolution 2185. It takes many to set up money laundering scheme, and yet oftentimes it takes one to defeat this chain. An independent investigation, careful reading of declarations and persistence of oftentimes surmount this challenge. I stand in support of the rapporteur's call for the national authorities to follow IBAC report where enough evidence is compiled to persecute the corrupt politicians in their respective countries. The battle against corruption should start in the member countries. Otherwise, we risk fighting consequences instead of addressing the root causes. Of course, the fact that in some countries this corruption is the very cement of the authoritarian edifice makes matters worse. Yet continuous attention and monitoring is necessary. Hence, concurrent with our work with the Member States, we should strengthen the intra-European mechanism of disclosing money laundering schemes and fighting organised crime. In addition to Manival and Grego, our work should be more strategically linked with the efforts of international partners. Furthermore, the civil society and the independent network of journalists are invaluable allies in this struggle. Thank you very much for your attention.